Many English learners say they understand grammar rules, but still struggle to feel comfortable with real conversations. That's because language isn't just about rules, it's about rhythm, emotion, and experience. And one of the best ways to improve is by listening to stories that take you somewhere new. If you want to learn English naturally and emotionally, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Real English Journey, and leave a comment with your favorite sentence or word from the story. The snow had started falling the night before. Not a storm, just a quiet, steady snow that covered everything in white. By morning, Oslo looked like a different city. The buildings wore thin white hats, the cars were buried in soft blankets, and the trees stood still under the weight of frozen silence. Jonas stepped out of his apartment just after sunrise. The sky was a pale blue, and the streets were nearly empty. It was early, and not many people were outside. He pulled his scarf up over his mouth and placed his hands deep into his coat pockets. His boots sank into the snow with each step. The sound was soft but clear, a crisp crunch that followed him with every movement. It was the only sound. There were no cars passing, no talking, no city noise. Just him, the snow, and the sound beneath his feet. He walked slowly, not in a hurry. There was no destination, no appointment. He had taken the day off to rest, and something told him that the streets of Oslo had something to offer that morning, something more than just cold air and quiet views. He turned down a smaller street lined with old wooden houses. The snow sat on their windowsills, and smoke came from some of the chimneys. He imagined people inside, drinking coffee, reading newspapers, or just watching the snow fall. It felt peaceful. Every few steps, he stopped and listened. The sound of the snow was different depending on how fresh it was. In some places, it was soft and deep. In others, where people had walked before him, it was thinner and louder. Each crunch was like a little word in a language made only for that day. A bird flew from one rooftop to another, its wings leaving a faint mark in the air. A cat watched him from behind a window. And once, in the distance, he heard a laugh, quick, then gone. He reached a small park and walked into it. The benches were covered in snow. The trees were heavy but still. His breath came out in little clouds, and his cheeks felt cold, but he didn't mind. He sat down on the edge of a low stone wall and just looked around. Everything was still, and in that stillness, something inside him slowed down. The thoughts in his head about work, emails, plans, problems quieted. He felt present. Like the snow, he wasn't going anywhere quickly. He was just there. After a few minutes, he stood up and started walking again. The sun had started to rise higher, and the snow sparkled a little under the light. His boots continued their quiet conversation with the ground. He passed a bakery with a warm orange glow in the window. A woman inside was putting bread on shelves. The smell reached him through the air, fresh, soft, comforting. He smiled and thought about going in. But not yet. He wanted to walk a little more. He crossed a bridge over a frozen canal. Ducks stood on the ice, confused but not afraid. A child in a red jacket threw a snowball at a tree, laughing when the snow fell down on him. Jonas waved. The child waved back. He turned toward a quiet hill near the end of the neighborhood. From the top, he could see more of the city, rooftops, church spires, and long white streets stretching into the distance. Oslo looked like a picture, almost too perfect to be real. He took a deep breath. And then, once again, he heard it. The the sound of the snow under his feet. That simple sound, that quiet crunch, had stayed with him the entire walk. It was like a reminder of movement, of presence, of the beauty in small things. He smiled to himself. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just a walk. And the snow. In this story, you learned useful English expressions like the snow sat on their windowsills, his boots sank into the snow, and the thoughts in his head quieted. You also practiced descriptive phrases related to nature, weather, and movement. These are common in daily conversations, especially when talking about personal experiences and memories. If you enjoyed this journey through winter streets, please like the video, subscribe to Real English Journey, and leave a comment with your favorite line from the story. See you in the next video.